From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Rig on the host. Here is Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Good morning, Chef Michael.
Good morning,
How are
Sandra.
you today?
I'm good, Sandy. I'm good, Sandy.
Oh, he got his voice back, and
Thank
then I
God.
lost mine. You got yours,
You were
and I
sick
lost
last
mine.
night. I can't.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah, here I go again. Here
Yeah,
I
there
go
you go.
again.
Here I go again.
I hear the trumpets blow again.
I hear the trumpets blow again.
I'm on the road again.
All aglow again.
Taking a chance on
Taking
love.
a chance on love.
La da dee dee dee. I know I was listening to I was listening to KLAV radio this morning. A guy who was on before me. Who's the guy?
KLAV.
Jeff Burke. He was talking about he had a cold or something, and he was constipated. I don't know what the hell he was talking about.
What?
I don't know.
And what did he do for his cold?
I don't know. He took some honey and lemon. You know, I got a kick out of it. Then
I know. I should have brought that container of honey with
Right,
me.
and then you listen to one guy, and then what happened is that all of a sudden
Everybody has something different.
I listened to our program, and then you say, "Oh my God, that's why people listen to us." You know, today I got up early this morning. Sandy didn't feel good, and I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you got a sore throat, you know,
What?
and you can't swallow, you can't swallow. It's difficult for you to swallow. Somebody said something. I never knew this. Excuse me.
You can't say that on
Honey,
the air.
honey.
Honey
So
what?
I took 2 tablespoons of honey,
Honey what?
and we're talking the raw honey.
Raw?
Yes.
No, you didn't get raw honey.
That was $7.95
It was
at
not
Smith's.
raw honey.
It's the
Raw
best.
honey does not look like that. Raw honey comes and it's like a block. And what you do is it's got a honeycomb on top of it, and you lift the honeycomb up, and then you get the honey and you put the honeycomb back on top. That's
Well,
raw.
anyway, it said raw honey, and it cost me
Well, a lot of-
$7.95.
No. You
at
got me
Smith's.
processed, but it was still
All right.
good. No, it's still good. It's
Well, there was a guy
100%.
that I know. His name was Tony Drago. He told me a story that I don't know how true it was. He said that he had cancer, and for 3 months, every morning he took a teaspoon of honey in the morning and the afternoon at night, and he said his cancer went away. Now I don't know how true that is.
Wow. If that was true, the FDA might have approved it.
Who knows? But you know something? Believe it or not, Sandy, honey is really good for you.
Well, believe it or not, a lot of people believe that it has to do with faith, too, and
Yes.
about getting rid of cancer. And also a good diet, like raw foods, just like Dr. Cord Strubble.
Dr. Cord
you know,
Strubble.
who
Mrs.
went through that,
Strubble,
and he
how
went
are you,
to-
Mrs.
Good
Strubble?
morning, Eloise.
Hello, Mrs.
Good morning.
Strubble. How are you, Mrs. Strubble? I don't know why I think I do. I think of Jerry Lewis every time I hear that
Anyway,
last name.
this weekend,
It's the big week.
you are going to be on the Dale Davidson show, and he did he's going to do 2 segments on you.
Right.
And I guess that's going to be aired this week, or is it next week?
I think it's next week.
Oh, it's next week for 2 weeks. And what it was is Dale, Michael, went and talked to Dale, and he told him his story. And Dale said, I'd love to get you on the air. So he shared his story, and Dale said, you know what? I think this is going to be 2 episodes because it's such an amazing story what happened
True.
to you.
Today, it's a funny thing, ladies and gentlemen. In life, and I always
Never mind.
Oh,
Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
no, I don't know. What did they say wrong? I thought you were done. I don't know.
Well, I kept trying to say something, but
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, finish.
Well, I'm done now because I forgot what I was going to say.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're coming to the close, aren't we? Coming to a close
Of what?
of this program?
Whoever knows.
I wish we'd make up your friggin' mind.
I don't know.
I would like to come to a close.
There's rumors.
I'd sure like
There's
to come to a
rumors that
close.
we found a location for the supper club. I'm so excited. Oh, there's
I'm not.
rumors. Well, I am, because I know that then we can film everything out of the right out of that location.
Well, if it's meant to be, I
Yeah.
said that to you this morning. It's
I
a
know.
perfect spot.
It is a perfect
It's exactly
spot.
what we want to spend. You know what I mean? And it's called a turnkey. Now, for those people out there that don't know
turnkey
what a
operation.
Sometimes people go in and you have to gut it. Cost you like $55 billion to gut stuff out, put stuff, a big layout here.
Like Vintner Grill, he went in there and gutted that place.
How much he spent?
$800,000.
$800,000.
Just to fix it up. I mean, that's after he bought the building or bought whatever he did.
Well, people don't realize when you open up a business, it ain't like it was years ago where you could open up a business for $20,000, $30,000 and took a chance. And, today it's all corporate money. If you go into the hotels today,
Oh, forget
it's
about
not
it.
mom and pop anymore.
about it.
They want Gucci. They want Disney. They want people that could do.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want mom and pop, because mom and pop, I got an LLC. You can stick it up your gazoo. People, they close their doors. You don't make the money, they shut their doors down. That's why all these restaurants that open up as fast as they open, that's as fast as they close, because they open up the place and they're going to charge $27 for linguine white clam sauce. That should be $12.95.
So if you charge $12.95, you'll get a lot more people buying
Of
it.
course you do. And
Yeah, a lot more volume.
Without a question. But this is what people do. And they say, well, you know, the guy across the street
The guy
is getting
across the street.
$27. Who cares what the guy across the street's getting? You know, you drop your price, you give a customer good product.
Right.
And it's good. Now, I went to get dim sum last night, and I went to what's it called? The Orchid?
And dim sum.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
I heard that.
Is it
And dim
Orchid?
sum.
Orchid?
Yeah. What?
Orchid Gardens?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And no,
Orchid.
it's at Decatur.
Yeah.
Oh,
Decatur.
see here in it's called Orchid Gardens. Now, I love dim sum, and I'll tell you why.
Used to be called Chings.
Yes.
They're chains.
And
Chings.
I really enjoyed it
Chins.
because it's all steamed.
Chings.
The noodle is steamed, and it's really fresh stuff. I usually get the bean curd, and I get pork sumai, and I really enjoy that. So yesterday, Sandy was sick, so I made her some chicken soup.
Yep.
I came home from work, and I made sure she ate, and I said, honey, I'm going to go get something. So I sat real nice by myself. I enjoyed the tranquility of peace, to be alone.
In the other room.
And it was great. And I sat
Without
down
me.
at the restaurant,
See
and
how
I
you are?
ate.
You left me.
No, you were
left
sick.
me locked in the room.
Yeah.
I was out of it.
Yep.
I was resting as much as I could. 'Cause
And she caught it from
that's what
me.
you have to do. You know, unfortunately, what happens is, you know, all these changes in weather, you know, it was warm and then it was cold. And it was warm and then it was cold. And it was warm and it was cold. And what happens is, you know, we're running around in clothes and we don't know what to wear, you know. So, yeah, I caught the cold.
I went to Smith's today, and I talked to a nurse. She had her scrubs on. And I said, I bet you're busy. And she looked at me and she said, sir, we have so many people at the emergency ward than we have ever seen.
Really?
It looks like an epidemic. How many people that have been sick? Because let me tell you something. This cold that's been around, our friend Alex Yanko,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a pretty big boy, this kid. And he got sick. And let me tell you something. Even me, I get well real fast. And I'm telling you something. It's just starting to go away. And I still have a cough.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful because people don't realize, oh, it's a beautiful day out. It's out. They walk with no shirt. And then a day later, you're freezing your cojones out there. You mean you don't realize it.
That's
You know,
right.
you get sick. You got to bundle up. You got to bundle up and make sure because the coldness is still in the air. Even that sun rays come through and it feels hot. It's not. Then you got the heat on, and then you got the heat off, and then you get the door open, then you get the door closed. This is what happens,
This is what happens.
you know. But anyway, you know, I got to tell you,
What do you gotta
we
tell
are
us?
excited because Keen Television has really been phenomenal to us. Dale Davidson. It was such an honor to be on his TV show yesterday. And he gave me 2 hours. Not too many people will give you 2 hours.
Wow.
But a tragedy happened in my life, you know, and some people know, some people don't. And now the world's going to know, which is fine with me. You know what I mean? Because there's always two sides of a story.
Yeah.
You know, and what happens is it's the timing that's right. Because what it's about success. You know what I mean? Because I'm a firm believer that people always love the underdog. They always like the guy like Rocky when he fought Apollo Creed. And he came out and took a beating. And Rocky, you know, it was really themselves they were doing it. And Jim Braddock, when he fought Max Baer, Jim Braddock was the underdog, you know. And you know what the guy did, Sandy?
What did he do?
He went up buying a big business, and he got out of the fight business and saved his money, you know. And he raised his family. So for those people that are out there that are listening, that are successful, listen to me. Put your money away. Don't, because everything comes to an end. I got a great job. I'm making 6 figures a year. I'm making $3,000 a week. And they blow their money. They buy Bentleys. And then all of a sudden reality sets in. They overstep their bounds. And all of a sudden they're 2 months behind in their mortgage.
Yep.
They're picking up their cars. You go to their house. They can't go. They're maxed on their credit cards because people live out of their means. It's like saying, I got to have it. When I was a kid, there was not such thing as credit cards. We used to go to Louis Cellini's, and my father, I would say, he said, go get me a pound of salami, get me half a pound of mortadella, give me some prosciutto. Tell Louis on the cuff I'll see him Friday. And Louis would take out a pad, and he'd write, Leonetti. And at the end of the week, my father would walk in. He would say, "Lou, what do I owe you?" And he'd take out the thing and he'd go, "You owe me $20. You owe me $18." You know what I mean? Those days we trusted them people. They didn't pad the bill. They didn't do stuff like that. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Another place that we go to, our favorite little Chinese place that we go, have the hibachi all the time. Ocho?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, something
Ocho?
like that.
Ocho.
Ohashi or something.
Ohashi. And I got to tell you, folks,
Ojahi.
for the money, what a wonderful, wonderful meal.
What a wonderful place this would be. Uh-oh.
Somebody up there? Oh, did you get me some? I'm excited that John Lindros, ladies and gentlemen, is going
Lindros.
to be... John.
Lindquist.
Oh, John Lindros, Lindquist. What the hell's the difference? It's close.
You got a new name now, John.
John...
just stick around Michael long enough.
John Lindquist.
Everybody has a
John
different
Lindquist,
name. Like Mark Jahovi.
Mark's coming on the show next week. He's coming on the TV show.
Yeah, I know, the 26th.
Right. He's going to be master of ceremony because I said to John this morning when I came into the studio
that week,
and I talked to Jimmy Melodor. He's out in the Coronado. That son of a bitch. He's having a great time out there, spending money.
Dr. Perry?
No, Jimmy Melodor.
Oh, Jimmy Melodor's out there.
And we got a lot of tickets sold.
Yeah, but Dr. Perry and Diana went to Oceanside.
They're out having a ball. Dr. Perry soaking his cojones in a nice beach, and Diana's relaxing, reading her book. And I said, "Will you read a book?" She says, "No, I just open up my savings account. I just look at the figures." And I go, "It's a wonderful day today."
It's so wonderful.
So John Lindquist, great announcer. I said, "Johnny, I just don't want you to announce. I want you to be master of ceremonies." And I believe in my heart this kid's going to set such a precedence because, you're at the Smith Center. It's big time. And love having this kid with us. Great looking guy. Great voice, and I think he'll add a lot to the jazz because Jimmy wants him to do a story, like a storyboard, like his story he wants him to say.
Jimmy wants John to say a story?
Well, not story. There's something about, the jazz and it's like when before you start, Jimmy's whacked out, Jimmy. But John, it'd be great, and because John took his mother, his father, and his uncle.
Oh my gosh!
And when you take your mother, your father, and your uncle. I don't want this kid to be behind the curtain saying, "No, ladies and gentlemen, the storm that gave me." I'm not. I want to showcase this kid the right way. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm funny that way. I want it to be done right. Because one thing about us, Sandy, whatever we do through God's grace, we do it the right way.
Whatever we do, wherever we go. What?
Nothing. I'm just listening to you sing.
Yeah, in my low D voice today.
Yeah, sure.
Because I had that low resonance today because
what happened? But we've been feeling good. It's been really great. I'm telling you something. I have a lot of fun. I got up this morning and I bought this real good bacon. Now, when you go to Smith's, they have...
I love that bacon. Oh my gosh.
It's expensive. It's the bacon in the package, folks. Not the thin bacon. It's a little thick. All right, it's a little thick,
and I know bacon is a treat. We don't have that.
It's
often.
About $9. It's $9
a skew.
Yeah, something on that.
A skein.
Something on that.
A package.
Line. Yeah,
something like that.
But it's really, really delicious. And I'm telling you, folks, what you need to do is you have to do something. A guest is in. Who's in? He's right. He's writing something down.
I know, Michael. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Oh, look who it is. It's Steve Wynn. Steve, thank you so much for... no, not Steve.
Hi. Yes, we've got... is she on the phone?
Yep, I am.
Hi.
Hi.
Make sure I pronounce your name right. It's Quinto?
It's Quita.
Quita. Sorry. I knew I was going to say that wrong. Anyway, so how are you today? You were going to come on a couple weeks ago, and then you got sick, and then she called me this morning, and I said, "Now I sound lovely, don't I?"
Well, Quita, we're so glad that you called and you're here because we got almost over 90,000 listeners that get up in the morning. They got nothing better to do, these people, but to turn on the radio and listen to what we got to say. But I got to tell you, we got some very interesting
Well, they
guests.
can do it while they're driving. They can do it while they're putting on their makeup to get ready to go to work.
Well, many people like Ricky Cash.
And they can do it while they're already at work.
He pulled over. He was on Fremont Street, and he pulled over on his side to listen to my radio station.
That's just because you were talking about him.
Right, and two hookers knocked on his window and said, "You want a date?" And he said, "No, I don't want a date. You want to go to a party?" And he says, "Is there any food?" They went, "No, there's no food." So I drove away.
So how you doing today?
I am very, very. I'm pumped today. I'm tired of being sick, so I'm sorry I transferred you.
I know. So, but it's part of life, and especially this time of year. I don't care. I thought I had stayed away from it, and I stayed away from it most of the time. But then all of a sudden, boom! It got me too. But so now that you're feeling better, what do you want to talk about?
Man, I think there's so much to talk about. I mean, for me, I think one of the main things that has just been really blowing my mind is why is there a lack of people of color in the rock and metal industry? I feel like an outsider still, and it's crazy.
And the rock and metal, I'm confused. What do you mean?
Okay,
Music.
so for example, there's a program that's done called That Metal Show. It's on VH1 Classic.
Right.
And it's in, I think, second or third season. And they've only had, 2 or 3 guests of color. And I just kind of am tired of the stereotyping. It's like with my program, it's called the Kirby Melhead Show. I try to kind of cover both, how is it like being a person that likes R&B and hip-hop, and then someone who can sit down and listen to Metallica, because a lot of the influences are pretty much the same. So it's just been something that's always been bothering me. It's always on my mind because I feel like we're in a time where there should be some sort of social equilibrium and equality, but we still have a lot of work to do, especially in this country.
Well, tell everybody, hold on just a second, Keith, because we've got a caller in, Mimi. She's from the Jazz Society.
She's from the Jazz Society.
So it's a little different area. But hi, Mimi. How you doing?
Good morning to you.
Good. Do you want to say something to Kita? She's got her own show, but it's mostly about metal, hip hop, and all of the kinds of genres.
What do you want to say, Mimi? Are you still pole dancing?
No, stop
yes,
it.
I am, as a matter of fact.
All right, good.
Yeah. I'm getting really good at it, too, Michael.
I can't wait to see it, baby. Especially in a thong.
Well, basically, our interest is more in true jazz. I mean, there's
Okay.
lots of different genres out there. There's lots of different jazz. I mean, there's smooth jazz. I mean, I'm a straight ahead person. But but music is soul.
Yeah.
That's what does it say? Music is life because that's why your hearts have a beat.
That's good.
I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
Well, and Kita, I know you recognize this, that a lot of music stems, whether it's hip hop, it's metallic, it's metal, it's rock and roll. A lot of it, has flavors of other styles in it.
Right, and the bottom line here is...
Hi, Kita. You have a funny voice.
The bottom line is that the producers and directors, they're going to push what they want. They're going to push what they think sells.
Yeah, but we're talking, Michael.
What?
She's got a radio show.
Yeah.
Now, you play, what do you play mostly, Kita? You play...
Oh, man. I'm so eclectic because, I'll play Marvin Gaye all the way down to, I play Metallica, I play Biff Naked, I play a lot of Canadian content because I don't think that some people don't value the uniqueness of Canadian music. So I get a lot of guests like that on my program, and we talk about the struggles for Canadian artists getting their exposure out. So I always try to be as diverse as I am personally. I always try to make sure that my show reflects that. And it's interesting what type of people come on my program. I get people that I never thought. I got one of my favorite people in the world, shout outs to Dolores DeLuce, and getting someone like that who's to me, a very underrated legend in the industry has been a blessing for me. I'm grateful to get to do what I do. I'm sure you guys feel the same way.
Oh, yeah. And Mimi, just so you know, Kita, she's involved with the Jazz Society here.
Now,
and so they have events every month where, but like she said, she likes straight ahead jazz. Now, a lot of people don't like straight ahead jazz, Mimi.
No, that's true. Everybody has their own taste.
They can't wrap their head around it, because or maybe they can listen to it for a short period of time. And I know Jimmy Mulador, he's straight ahead jazz.
Right.
And, and some people like smooth jazz, it just depends. And for me, I do like a variety. And Kita, just like you, I tell you, let's see. The only kind of style that I'm not crazy about, like I like to listen to. I grew up in theater, so I like the theater music. Broadway. I like jazz. I like R&B, hip hop. I like country. I even have written some country songs and recorded some stuff. The only thing I really am not crazy about is gangsta rap.
Yeah, I will say so too. I mean, I grew up in a more suburban environment, and gangster rap always had this negative connotation.
Very negative.
It's very, very negative. But I think now with hip hop and the trend that's starting to happen now is people are getting tired of it.
Right.
I mean, gangster rap, for people who are not familiar, like trap music coming from Chicago, it's a very niche-based type genre of music.
Right.
But then what tends to happen is some people in the media or some people in the hip-hop media, they magnify it, and then it becomes classified as, all hip-hop is gangster rap, and it's not. I mean,
no, it's not. Hip-hop, a lot of it is R&B. I mean, they've combined, I remember, when they first started mixing it up, when some of the artists some of the R&B artists started including, teaming up with hip-hop artists, and doing it together. And so then it really became kind of a crossover thing.
Being in the radio business, and like you said, you felt, that there should be more people of color. There's a couple people that they don't play anymore.
Michael feels there should be more Italians.
Well, beside that,
I agree. I agree. Italians are not represented properly.
Right, Louis Prima to me was
typecast.
Louis Prima was the swingin'est lounge act with Sam Brutera. Nobody plays this guy's music, and Louis was phenomenal. The Treniers were a phenomenal act. These guys, if you go on YouTube, these guys did motion pictures. They did House Party Tonight. There were 9 black brothers that these guys, they jumped on the walls. What a great...
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
These guys were great. Nobody plays their
videos.
music. Jimmy Roselli, greatest singer to walk the face of the earth. The guy's 100 billion records. Sergio Franchi, nobody plays their records.
Well, that was an era too, though.
But, yet
some stuff carries over.
I spent $500 to put. I belong to Sirius, and that's all at the Sinatra. And one thing I got to commend the Sinatra, he plays Barbra Streisand. He'll play Ella Fitzgerald. He'll play Carmen McRae.
Well, it's not him, but it's that station, and what they can't just play Sinatra stuff.
Well,
obviously, no. I mean they play a variety, but they're also, I noticed they've got a lot of new artists on there. It's not just all the old style stuff.
You want to laugh, Mimi? Yesterday I get a call from Germany. All right, I cut her 45 record 38 years ago.
They want to put it on a compilation CD. In Germany.
Really?
I can't believe it. And I said to the guy, I thought it was a joke until he said, well, there was a song, Find Yours Tomorrow. And then the other one was, You'll Never Be Another You. There will be many other nights like this.
Yeah,
well, I had a hit record back 38 years ago. And on the flip side, it was Lou Messina, my guitar player, because we went 50-50 on the record. It was $350 to get 500 copies that I stuck in every jukebox. So my mother gave me half, and Lou said, well, if I'm putting up half, I want to sing a song.
Kita, that was before our time.
That's right. And the guy called me from Germany.
The same thing.
And the guy, well, what's the compensation? Because I'm so out of touch. So he said, I'm embarrassed to say, but it's $175, which is great.
Well, what it is this is very common. You familiar with this, Kita? And Mimi?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Kita, you are? Yeah, compilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, compilation CDs, and I've got a lot of my songs on compilation CDs. What happens is you get contacted by somebody from whoever's doing the album, and they do a compilation CD. They bring a single on or a hit from different artists,
Right.
a single of each of their records, and then they make an album. And the thing of it is they're not investing in obviously the recording of any of these songs, but what they're doing is they're taking a song, so they give you, it's kind of like a stipend, they're giving you 100, 110, 120, 170, 100, 200. The most I got on one of the compilation CDs was actually out of Turkey. Turkey, right? Yes, it was. for $500.
But the guy
and
wants-
they did it for $5. They did it twice. They did it on 2 of my songs.
No, I got the album.
So here they are. But this is a 45 that he has of this. So now
were in
we
a-
have
a
to
frame.
transfer it. We're going to have to
How
transfer
the hell
it to.
is going to listen? Is it?
Well, we don't know yet. We've got to check it out. We've got to see how it translates to digital.
Oh yeah,
And then
I
see.
mean that's pretty much where the best market is. I mean, if you're looking for more musical success, I mean, I've noticed most of my success so far with my program has been overseas, and
Yeah.
then the American market. Now I'm getting into that market, but overseas, I mean, people really, I think, respect the diversity of sound. Here, it's more about what's popular, and then
Right.
over there. it's
Well,
more
the Clear Channel, they can only play certain songs.
correct.
Mimi, do you have an event coming up you want to talk about?
As a matter of fact, yeah, we do. We're having our membership meeting and a post-holiday party this Sunday at Montera Estates Clubhouse.
Okay.
Oh, the membership meetings from 2 till about 2:45 or so. 3 to 5, we're going to have party and music and all kinds of wonderful things. Even a jazz rummage sale. I mean, we people pulled up with LPs and things that and cassettes that are could be very valuable. So it's gonna be
That's cool.
You got to come on out.
All right. Where's this
Yeah,
going to
we
be
gotta
again?
come
Where
out.
is
We
that
gotta
again?
do it.
Montera?
Montera Estates. It's on Mojave, just north of Tropicana.
Is there food?
Mojave?
Of course there'll be food, and there'll be drink and all that other good
How
stuff.
much is it to get in?
It's $12 for members, $15 for those who are not members. But
they
you
break
can
a window?
become a member when you get there.
All right. All right.
Yeah, we got to go, Sandy. We
so
never
check
do
it
this.
out.
We
well, because you're always cooking on Sunday. That's
we
why.
can always make a quick visit to go see
I know.
Mimi.
That's the problem, Mimi. He's always cooking. He starts at 4 o'clock in the morning and cooks all day.
Well, it's my
I
day.
understand.
You know.
Well, take a break.
I'm going to tell him, take a break this
Yeah, we
Sunday.
gotta
We need
go.
a break.
We got a break.
Well, thank you so much, Mimi.
Thanks, Mimi.
And
But you guys can come out. We'd love to see you.
we'd love to see you out there this weekend, Sunday at Montera Estates
Yes,
at 3 to 5.
you got it.
Jazz rummage sale, plus
Yeah.
music, food, great things, and $12 for members and $15 for non-members. But you can become a member out there.
That's right.
Of the
You got
Jazz
it,
Society.
girlfriend. You're good.
That's right.
Thanks a lot, Mimi. Okay,
Okay, look forward to seeing you guys.
take
Thank
care.
you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, sweetheart. Ain't she nice?
So,
She's the nicest
so
lady.
Keita, how did you get started doing your radio show?
I think for me, I came from a radio TV background, and it was through my education that it was a particular day where it was funny. I had this instructor who really discouraged me, and she said that my voice was only good for urban radio. Now, for people not familiar, urban radio is pretty much your morning zoo or your sometimes it can be connected to like smooth jazz stations, things like that. And I got tired of that. And I said, why is it that people of color are only being pushed in one direction? So
Well, now. I don't know if that's a people of color thing. That's probably, she said, your voice. Now, not everybody's voice is the same. Don't forget. I mean, we've got, look at Wolfman Jack. Come on, what a voice. So,
True, but,
yeah.
But there's still an accountability issue that when it comes to radio. I mean, I tried out for many radio stations in the state of Wisconsin. That's where I'm from.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't accept me. There were rock stations in Wisconsin that they didn't accept me because some, I personally feel, were not comfortable or prepared for having a woman of color there. Just because a station says that they have equal opportunity, that doesn't always translate into equal opportunity for everyone.
Sure.
So for me, I just decided, I said, well, if people don't really accept me for me, and why am I wasting my time kind of going around and auditioning for things?
Just do it
when
yourself.
there's social media. It's easy now. It's not like back in the day where you had to get a referral. There was networking. There was a lot of connections that you actually had to make physically.
Right.
And this is not to say it doesn't happen now. So I just said to myself, I said, well, there's a lack of my people or women in general in this rock and and metal industry. I mean, there are examples like Full Metal Jackie. Definitely have to give shout outs to her because she really started.
There's a girl. There's a girl in where is it? I think down in Laughlin. I can't remember what her handle is, but she's really good, and she's a rock. It was something rock, but she's really good, So I understand what you're saying. Still, they say we've come a long way, baby, but still, there's a lot of things that I think. Are still going on, that keep us, still having to deal with a lot of these issues, But it's good that you're getting out there and you're getting the music out there and you're getting everybody on your station. Now, what are your call letters?
Okay, for me, my station is actually online.
I know. So what is? I'm sorry. What is your URL? What's your website?
Oh yeah, my URL is at blogtalkradio.com/curvymetal.
It's Curvy, and that's CURVY, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard my song Curve Appeal?
You know what? I have. And I was like, I saw you, and I was like, this lady is so hot. Like, wow. I am so jealous of you, hands down. Like...
Well, the idea is to have fun. The idea is to have fun with what we're doing, right? And I applaud you because you're getting the music out there, you're getting a lot of people on your show, and you're spreading the word, and you're giving us a variety of stuff to listen to, and mixing it up, like you said, bringing all the Canadians, onto your show and stuff. And so, I wonder why is it that the Canadian music isn't picked up so much? Do you think?
There's a battle, honestly, if you look at Billboard. I mean, Billboard has changed, tremendously.
I mean, we've got a lot of people that are from Canada that are big stars, like Celine Dion, isn't, Justin Bieber.
Yeah, and I would say with those two, those are like a dime in a dozen. I mean, there are bands that I listen to, like Biasin, they're coming from Canada, but the thing is, I talked to them about that, like, why is there a challenge with that?
Right.
And what it is, it's the market. As much as people think, like, Canada's just all crammed, in one place, it's just Toronto and Vancouver and, like, that's it, the Yukon and that's it. But it's a very large country. It's very spread out. And if you cross over into a different territory, the musical sound, it changes completely, and the audience tends to be, and that's the thing I love about Canadians, period, is they are very, very critical about what type of music is put in certain venues.
Well, I'll tell you, they're critical of the Americans coming up there. I know that because I was back there in 1974, sure. And I was at the Hilton Hotel in Toronto. And I know Michael wants to ask you a question about what's your favorite Italian restaurant, because your recipe, because he's sitting here, poor guy. He says he's getting left out of the conversation.
It'll make no difference to me.
Come on, Michael, go ahead. Talk to a little bit about cooking.
I'm enjoying the tranquility of peace. If you were in an Italian restaurant, what would you order? What was your favorite dish?
The funny thing is, I have never been to an authentic Italian restaurant ever.
You gotta be kidding me. They're all over. Are you live in Las Vegas? Where are you from? Where you
Wisconsin.
For me, I'm from Wisconsin.
Are you calling from Wisconsin now?
Yeah.
There's no Italian restaurants in Wisconsin?
There are. But for me, it's so niche, and you have to know, like, for me, there are, it's the concept of, like, Tex-Mex food, for example. If people think that is authentic food coming from Mexico, when no, it's just American infused.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. What is your favorite dish? If you went to, Italian food, what is your favorite Italian dish that you would, if you went to an Italian restaurant, what would you order?
Maybe she hasn't had much Italian food.
No,
I say for me, I like bruschetta. I am a huge fan of that.
Well, bruschetta is more of an hors d'oeuvre than anything, because it's on a piece of bread.
Like hors d'oeuvres are the main thing. And I also like tortellini. Tortellini,
yeah, that's like a stuffed little ravioli. They're nice. They're great in salad too. You can buy them in the store. They're fantastic in a salad.
Really?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you boil them as a pasta. You can eat them cold, and they're great in a salad. You can make a beautiful salad. Now you're familiar with collard green, aren't you? You know what collard green is?
Collard greens. That's automatic. I have that.
Well, you got to remember, you make them one way, I make them another. Here's an Italian style of collard green.
This is a great sandwich. He's got to tell you about.
It's a great sandwich. No, most of the African American people, okay, when they make collard green, they boil it and they put vinegar. You know, that's there's like chitlins, collard green, sweet potato pie. That is their culture. Well, I got to tell you, you go to the store and you buy collard green. You chop it up and you fry it with oil and garlic. You fry it. Put a lid on it. Add some salt, some pepper, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of granulated garlic. When it's nice and tender, take the collard green out and get yourself a loaf of bread. Italian bread, French bread. Cut the bread, take the inside of the bread out. Stuff the bread with the collard green. Then get yourself a quarter pound of provolone cheese. Throw the provolone cheese over the collard green. Open up your oven. Let it go to 400 degrees. When it hits 400, put that sandwich in that oven for 3 minutes, just enough to melt the provolone cheese. I want to tell you something. When I had my restaurant, that's what I made. That was one of my biggest sellers. You never tasted a collard green sandwich in your life so delicious than that.
And Keto, we had somebody that was on the show with us.
Yeah.
And Michael told him about the recipe. He made it at home. And then when we saw him the next time, he told us.
He said you were right.
He said, Michael, I can't believe it. It was so right. He said, I couldn't believe it. He goes, when you told me about that sandwich, he goes, I thought, no, it can't be. You know,
if you go shopping, looking at somebody's cart, they'll tell you what nationality they are. As you look at somebody's cart, you can tell.
It depends. Like for me, my family, we come from Liberia and Ghana. So the way we prepare collard greens is different. It depends on regionally.
How do you make it?
From. Like for us, like what my mom usually does is she doesn't really steam it with water. She steams the oil first. Then she puts the greens in. And then separate from the greens, she puts the meat and steams the meat with water and makes this very nice type of clear soup with it, and then she'll combine both together. Because the southern way of making it is usually with either if you're doing boiled greens, then you're going to use water, of course, but if you're going to go for more crispier or you want the leaves to be a little bit darker,
right?
It's similar to like baking soda. You put that in while it's sauteing the greens, and it makes the greens actually come out more. It's a lot darker, and the flavor, I would say, is more intense than when you just put in oil and then you just boil it. So there's often a misconception, because a lot of times people will say that, oh yeah, you make collard greens. I'm like, yeah, but it's a little bit different because we want to make sure that the greens are thoroughly cooked, because sometimes when you boil it in water, it's cooked, but you're not getting the full flavor absorption. You gotta flavor the water. If you don't flavor the water, it will just taste like regular greens. Like you'll just taste the leafiness. So the soda that we use, it extracts that flavor. It extracts it out and it makes it taste better.
You know,
because I've had my friend's greens. It's a little bit different.
One time I had it, the first time I had it, I was in New Orleans, and I was singing down there in Metairie. And so I went over and, we had it, and it was so hot, and I couldn't even eat it. It was so bad. and I was like, oh my gosh, and they had white pepper. For some reason, white pepper in something. I don't know what it is, but it's really a certain kind of taste or something. It gets in my throat. But it was so hot, I couldn't have it. And so then I didn't have it for the longest time. And then somebody else said, out in California, I was out there, and they said, oh no, it doesn't have to be hot. They were like, no, that's so now see, I had a misconception of it because the way I had it that one time. And then they made it for me, and it was so good. And it was nothing like the other, because the other I couldn't even taste any flavor, because all I could taste was, because it was just so, this hot taste in my mouth.
Right.
So you're right.
Put too much like pepper.
Yeah.
What it'll do is it overpowers the actual flavor coming from the greens.
Right.
So you always neutralize when you're dealing with any type of leaves. That's one thing I've been learning about cooking. Like, I'm learning how to get better with my cooking myself. You always want to neutralize it. If you can't, try to separate, depending on what you're fixing. I always try to separate the stock and put the meat and cook the meat within the stock, then combine the greens if I want it boiled. If I want to fry it, I just put a little bit of oil, and then you can always build up the oil. I think a lot of times, like especially with certain southern dishes, they put way too much spice or way too much. That's what they're accustomed to.
You know, Michael doesn't even put the spices in most of the time until the end, right, Michael?
Exactly.
That's right.
And that's what he says, because then it also sticks to
If you fry.
When
you fry, you just fry. At the end of your meal, that's when you turn around and you add your spices. Remember, if you look at salt and pepper, it's very fine. And that's what will really stick to the pan. And you don't want a bitter taste. I never use garlic powder. It's too bitter. I use granulated garlic. That's the best thing you can. It's a little more expensive, but the garlic powder has a flour base to it. And what that does, it thickens stuff up, and it's got a very bitter taste. Some people like it. Garlic salt is another thing. Be very careful with that, because one thing about salt, once you add too much, you just kill the dish.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot distract, and nothing you can do. And here's a tip for you for greens. Anytime you boil string beans, any kind of green bean, you add, when you're boiling, add a tablespoon of baking soda. And the baking soda will make it so gorgeously green.
Oh.
Did you know that?
I did not. I have to try that.
Next time you make your green beans, okay, boil them. When it comes to a boil, throw in baking soda. I'll say it again, baking soda, not baking powder. And what that will do, ladies and gentlemen, it'll make them greens so gorgeous. It does, like when you have a salad. Now, you get iceberg lettuce. You got all different kinds. You got butter lettuce, iceberg lettuce, romaine lettuce. Iceberg lettuce makes a turn. When you cut it up and you leave it in the refrigerator, the leaves will turn brown. Do you know how you stop that?
No.
You need the pit. You need the pit of an avocado.
Oh, that's the same way that's what Diana the other night.
Throw a pit of an avocado in there.
All of a sudden, I was throwing out, the dishes, whatever, cleaning off the dishes after we had dinner. Okay. And Diana Pascal had brought over the big salad. And so she had left the pit of the avocado in the salad, so it kept it from turning. Right.
And here's another tip for you. For anybody who likes fish out there, catfish, especially catfish.
I love catfish.
Those out there that love catfish.
And hush puppies.
All right. So anytime you got catfish, ladies and gentlemen, and then you fry, people go, "Oh my God, somebody's what the hell stinks in your house?" Well,
it's pretty strong.
Get your catfish. Get any kind of salt water fish, not orange roughy. Orange roughy's from Nova Scotia. That's a freshwater fish. Okay, but mahi, flounder, any kind of sole, anything of those kind of fishes, you leave it in milk. You can leave it in milk overnight. Wash the fish when you take it home from the store and let it submerge in milk. What the milk does, ladies and gentlemen, it pulls out all the smell from the fish.
The fishy smell.
That fishy smell. Right. And when you fry it, it's incredible. It will not turn. If you leave that fish wrapped up for a day or so, and you say, "Well, I'll make it in a couple of days from that. I'm going to freeze it." I'm going to tell you something.
You're in trouble now.
You are. You know what I mean? Because what happens is that fish will actually get mushy, and it turns. But if you leave it in milk,
we don't want that.
If you leave the fish in milk, it will not go bad, and it'll take the smell of the fish out. And believe it or not, folks, it tenderizes, especially shark. A lot of people like shark. They have shark. If you ever tried shark, blue shark. But this is just a little tip, from restaurant, throughout my career in the restaurant business. I learned these little tips, and if you like fish, that's what we do. I made it for our friend, your hairdresser, Mr.
Peter,
Wynn.
Yeah.
And I made three pieces of orange roughy, and it came out fantastic.
Oh my God, it's so good. Listen, thank you so much, Keita, for being on the show.
Keita.
I have a question for you. I've got a song you might like that is on my new album that hasn't been released, and it's a song that Brenda Russell wrote. It's called "Wayward Soul," and it's an R&B song. And I'd love to send it to you. You might want to play it on your show.
Oh, I love to listen to it. I'm always, keeping my ear open for new sounds.
Okay.
And I cut a record.
So what is your... Yeah, so I need to send that out to you again.
Send that to me.
Anyway, make sure I get her email, make sure I have her email address and everything.
Right. And I wrote a record called Keep the Italians Alive and Don't Eat Too Much Pepperoni. It's a beautiful song.
Anyway, thanks a lot, Keita.
Thanks, Keita.
Have a great day. And don't forget to check out www.curvymetal.com. Right?
Absolutely. WordPress.
Thank you very much.
So it's curvymetal.wordpress.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. curvymetal.wordpress.com or what was that? blogradio.com /curvymetal?
Yep, blogtalkradio.com.
Blog Talk.
/Kirby Metal.
Okay, great. Got it. Thank you so much, Keita. Have a great day. Keep playing those songs.
Right, and watch us on YouTube because you'll hear your
That's
interview.
right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, I will.
You'll
Yeah.
see how handsome I am.
And then check
I'm
out
so good
Sandy
looking.
Kastel and Friends shopping at Smith's. You'll see Chef Michael preparing a bunch
yeah.
of dishes. So.
You'll see how handsome I am as a white man.
Oh
I am
yeah,
so
yeah.
good looking.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
and he's
so
so modest
handsome.
too.
That's true.
Anyway, have a great day, Keita. Thanks a lot.
Keita. Ain't she nice?
Yes, she
Yeah,
is.
she's a sweetheart.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with
Oh,
Chef
do we
Michael. We'll
have
be
to?
right back after a quick
I
message
hate
from our
commercials.
sponsors. Thank you.
I hate sponsors.
Be
I
right
hate
back.
Commercials.
All of me. Why not take all of me?
Way to start your day. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. That was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
You gave
You
out
know,
a couple of recipes. That was
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this radio show has been very successful. We thank everybody for listening in. And, when you're in business, a lot of people use the word friends very loosely. I've noticed that. Don't you notice that, friend? We have a lot of good acquaintances. We made some great friends, and we lost a few people, along the way. But, you got to, I said this for the simple fact is that always keep your heart open and your mind open, and never let a tragedy or something come in your life to shut you out. You know what I mean? Never do that. I've learned that. Yesterday was a great lesson for me to sit down and for 2 hours go on national television, and really cover a story that touched the hearts of so many people. And that's what it's really all about. You're not going to find the perfect person in life. You're not going to find the perfect wife or the perfect husband.
What?
You're not going to find it. I mean, they're out there. You know what I mean? But people are people. It's like anything else. And that's why I always say to everybody, always keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and just love life. Life is so wonderful. Just get up in the morning and, thank the Lord for waking up and feeling good and having a nice cup of coffee and look, driving. And, when I drive the car, I just take my time. I look at Sandy and go, oh my God, I'm so happy. It's just nice. I got up this morning. I had breakfast. I gave her breakfast in bed this morning. All that kind of stuff, and me, I had to go sit down in a restaurant all alone and eat some breakfast.
And don't forget, stay fit and fabulous forever.
Yeah, you want to stay fit.
Go to your dance classes, go to your exercise classes, go to your eat well.
That's right.
We all need to find that way, that something that we like to do for fun that keeps us healthy. Also,
Right.
For me, it's dancing. I love to dance. I like to go to Angela Moyo's dance class over there at Backstage Dance Studio, and I love to go to the yoga sanctuary and do yoga. And when you're not feeling well, you don't really feel like going to do those things. Sometimes you got to get out of bed and go do it anyway. But obviously, when you're not feeling
I gotta
well,
give a shout out.
You don't want to pass out any germs either.
No.
So what are you doing? Passing out a shout out?
Foot Care, Royal Foot Care, ladies and gentlemen. Is there an address here? Yeah, 5150 Spring Mountain Road. It's right across the street from Chinatown. I went there, $35, full body massage. My attorney, Neil Colmenares, treated me, and he said, come on, Mike, let's get a full body massage.
Yeah, I heard it was amazing.
I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, believe me when I'm telling you, it was incredible. I mean, when I walk into these joints, I want to have like wonton soup, but it was real quiet. You got to be real quiet when you went in, and these two Japanese girls came out.
Japanese?
Well, Chinese, Japanese, whatever they are, and
no, there is a difference,
I could not believe $35 for an hour. And then I like it real easy. She said, you big baby. I says, I am. I says, just go easy. You know what I mean? I don't like deep tissue. Some people like that. Neil Colmenares, she brought in a sledgehammer and was hitting him with a sledgehammer. I couldn't, but it was a 40-pound
He likes deep tissue.
Not me. I like it nice and easy. But anyway.
I like deep tissue.
And we're excited to say that this week we got Unshamed to pull out in work. We got a pastor
Unashamed
recon.
to put in work.
Yes, it's to God to be the glory.
That's going to be Thursday.
It's going to be Thursday. These
they're
three
gonna
guys,
finish,
Pastor Recon is the manager, and it was such a blessing. And hold on to that card, Sam.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be exciting. We got a great lineup for the TV show.
Also, Also, guess who I heard from?
Who'd you hear from?
I heard from Doc Phineas.
How's the doc doing?
He said that they're getting a lot of interest on him being on the show. He says he's getting really good response to the show, and people are asking where they can listen to it if it's on YouTube. Yes. The answer is yes, Dr. Phineas.
Yes.
We are on YouTube, and just Google Sandy Kastel and Friends, and you will see all kinds of shows, all the shows that we've done, come up on YouTube, and you can check them out right there, including the TV show, which this weekend we are going to have. You're going to be preparing another meal for 2 on the show. What?
Do I have to?
And who else do we have? Oh, yeah, we have some great interviews.
We have the kid with the newspaper that has his own radio show here. We just had him as a guest. The Italian kid does the in-person. Richard?
No. He's coming on next week, honey.
Next week. Then we got Mark
Giove next week.
Mark Giove's coming next week.
Yes.
We got we got a hell of a lineup of people. We're going to have a lot of fun. And that's our videographer, David Taylor. He's the closest thing to Billy Joel I've ever seen.
As a matter of fact, you're going to do some cooking tonight or tomorrow night. Yes, you're going to have to.
God.
So you can do some more cooking spots.
Oh my God! I think I'll do the lobster.
Oh, do the lobster. That'd be fun.
The lobster sauce.
Oh,
with the tails. Just the lobster sauce for 2.
That'll be good for next week. That'd be great.
That'll be something that's simple that people can make.
Thank you everybody for listening and tuning in. As always,
are we done? I can't believe it.
Keep us. Check out our Facebook page. Watch us there on Facebook. Watch us on YouTube, and listen to our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, because excuse me, I'm starting to lose my voice. It's starting to go.
She's unhappy.
Oh no, but that's what happens when you get a cold and it goes into your throat. What do you do? Especially when you're a singer. Oh my gosh, it's scary.
I think a couple days in Hawaii would really be great if I can get the hell out of here.
Well, you could be in Oceanside. Anyway, have a great day, and check us out on YouTube this afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow morning here on KLAV, Lotus Broadcasting, with the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips.
I love them too, Jews.
See you tomorrow.
I'm Jews. I love them guys.